Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt. Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is December the 3rd, 2020. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Only the beginning. Buying over crying. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. Buy and hold, baby. This game is not rigged. Golden age of the 2020s. Compete, don't complain. Conviction. 5-digit route. I'm offended by selling. Hello, my elite friends. I'm coming from Phoenix, Arizona. I got a good night's sleep. I am still way behind on getting back to people that want me to read things, to email them, to DM, all sorts of things. I'm in the middle of my 45-hour fast. I am feeling great because I flew yesterday. Every day I fly, I don't eat on those days. You should do the same thing. A great way to get into fasting. So if you have questions, I have answers. Type in BitcoinMeister or do a super chat. Yes, there might have been technical difficulties at the beginning of the show there. That's why you might have heard me say, hello, everyone, like twice. Who knows what happened there? All right. If you want to watch all my old shows, disruptmeister.com. I've got almost like 1,900 of them now. And let's everybody on Parler. I'm BitcoinMeister, Crypto Parler hashtag. Follow me on Twitter at TechBalt. TechBalt. This Week in Bitcoin is tomorrow, Friday, 2 p.m. Baltimore time. The great Brandon BTC of Bitcoin Magazine. He will be one of the guests. We're going to have 3 guests, hopefully. And I got to say, he's going to talk about this, what's going on in the Congress, the proposal to make stable coins have bank charters. It's just insane. And it's really about hatred of Diem, which is Libra, which is Facebook's stablecoin that's coming up in January. And so we're going to talk about that. We talked about it on yesterday's show, but he has a great quote that he sent me. Brand said, "This is crony government using the guise of critical race theory to kill innovation." Pound that like button, dude. I loved when you DM'd me that today. This is crony government using the guise of critical race theory to kill innovation. Yes, that is what it is exactly. And you will talk about that on tomorrow's show. Guys, I know you always bring up China FUD to me. One of the things people love to complain about, instead of compete, they complain and they panic and they say, China controls all of Bitcoin mining. All the mining pools are in China. It's controlled by China. No, it's not, first of all. Second of all, we've got an article out there. American Bitcoin mining pool aims to erode China dominance. They are competing. They are not complaining. Market conditions change. Innovations come about, okay? And there will be other American entities that try to get into the mining business. It's a lucrative business. It's hard to do. But to be the end-all, be-all that end-all and say, it's China dominates, it changes over time. They don't, and here's a story, a real story about an American Bitcoin mining pool that aims to erode the quote unquote China dominance. So you can complain about it, or you can just be patient. The market conditions change. Other entities enter mining. Don't worry about it. That's what it. But hey, people, it's a common FUD technique. China controls Bitcoin. No, there's a real story. They don't. Now, and we already knew that, but if you needed some confirmation on the mining side of things, there you go. So we're going to talk about gold too. You know, there are not as many people gold fudding in terms of Bitcoin anymore. By the way, yesterday's show was awesome. I just put it in the chat for all you live chatters. You can watch it right now. Watch it instead of this live show. But gold, everyone. Gold, you got to value your wealth in gold, people said. Okay. So how much has Bitcoin gone up? It doesn't matter how much Bitcoin goes up in terms of dollars. How much has it gone up in terms of gold? Oh, well, look at this article that's out today. All right. For all you gold and holders out there. Bitcoin price triples in value against gold since March crash. All right. So since that bad day, March the 12th, when smart money started realizing, hey, there's going to be a lot of money printed up. A lot of people are panicking over this disease that's going on. A lot of people over panic today. What should I get into? Should I be holding cash, or should I get, what is a hedge against inflation? And that day in 2020 was peak gold day, I would say, because people were saying, "Oh, you see, Bitcoin did horrible, but but gold is recovering, and it is the true store of value. It is the true hedge against inflation." Well, long-term thinkers, we knew in the long run Bitcoin would outpace gold by quite a bit, and we are seeing a trend. This, if you would have just based everything on March, you could say, well, gold was down and for the count for a while, but it's been around 5,000 years, and now this crazy month, it's made its comeback. This is the beginning of a new era. It wasn't. Look at this. Now we're at the end of 2020, and the articles and the smart money saying, you know what, this Bitcoin thing is for real. It is gold 2.0. This gold thing might be coming to an end. Now, of course, there will always be some use cases for gold. Industrial, it will have some value forever, most likely, because you build rocket ships, need computers, need it, all sorts of technical innovation needs it, so it'll always have some sort of value there. There's some level of irreplaceability there, but no, it is a pain in the butt to sell too. So there are a lot of people that are trying to sell it now. Okay. And you got to get it out of your vault. You got to bring it to the dealer. You got to lug it in your car. It's not just everyone says Bitcoin's in the ether. It's only in the ether. It doesn't exist. Well, because of that, it doesn't really exist, quote unquote. You could sell it like in less than a second, and then buy it right back a second later. It's quite a technological marvel. Okay, in this golden age, gold is not really meant for this golden age now, is it? And so here is a tweet from a guy. This is a real life tweet, PLK5280. It's linked to below. Everything I talk about is linked to below. I am living proof of this, he says. As an old member of the millennial generation, I did in fact inherit some gold. The process of selling that gold has been an absolute nightmare compared to Bitcoin. This played a large part in transitioning my portfolio to 100% Bitcoin. Hashtag drop gold. Hashtag pound that like button for that dude. So how do you sell your gold for Bitcoin? How do you turn your gold into Bitcoin? It's a pain in the butt, but when you do it 100%. Okay, turn that gold stake 100% into Bitcoin. No need to be holding that gold anymore, because what are you going to do? You're just going to die with it? Because it's hard. Are you going to pass it on to the next generation who's going to have a hard time selling it? What do you really? What's the point when there's a digital better version of it? Okay, and hey, it 100%. I don't know if 100% of this guy's financial portfolio. I mean, he said this played a large part in transitioning my portfolio to 100% Bitcoin. I mean, dude, I'm just telling the normies out there, get your feet wet into Bitcoin. Get 1%. But dude, if your portfolio now is like 5% gold because you inherited it from your granddaddy, this is the time. This is the time to get, instead of having 5% gold, 5% Bitcoin. The reversal, the flippening, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So that's how you sell. I mean, thank God I don't have to know how to, really. There's no place. I don't think the Mr. Gold dealer on the corner. When I was on the light rail in Baltimore yesterday, on Howard Street, you see some of the gold places that we take gold chains, and it's right next to the wig place. No, this is not an exaggeration, except it's all closed now because of everything that's been going on. But I mean, you go on the light rail on Howard Street in Baltimore, and you see these ridiculous places. Obviously, if the gold place was open and you brought in your gold chain to turn to, he just gives you cash at that point. All right. So and that's hard. He gives you cash. He's not into Bitcoin. He's not going to give you a Bitcoin. So you got to take that cash, put it in your bank, then from your Coinbase account, then you buy Bitcoin. So that's how you turn gold into Bitcoin. It's a pain in the butt. Clearly, who wants to go down to Howard Street and turn your gold? You're gonna have to do it. Get rid of those gold chains, man. This is not Run DMC anymore. It's Run BTC. Pound that like button if you got that one. I should just end the show right now, but I'm not, because that was pretty good off the top of my head, because they used to wear the gold chain. Okay, now, it's not Run DMC. This is not 1986. This is 2026 for you watching in the future. It's not about gold chains. It's about Bitcoin. Run BTC, not Run DMC. And let's see. Well, there are many people out there, apparently. Here's a tweet from Coin Corner Danny. What's he say? Bitcoin held at exchanges continuing to fall like never seen before. Long-term positions are building. Bitcoin liquidity crisis incoming. I don't like to use the term Bitcoin liquidity crisis incoming. Crisis is the incorrect word. What's correct here is that, yes, people aren't preparing to sell their Bitcoin, okay? They're not tossing it onto an exchange. They're taking it off an exchange. They just converted their Litecoin, their other ridiculous, their Ripple into Bitcoin, and now they're not storing it there. They're taking it off because they're in this for the long run. They know this is the beginning of the bull market. And traditionally, people throw their Bitcoin, and of course, someone could throw like a 20,000 Bitcoin on an exchange tomorrow because they've had enough and they want to get $20,000 a piece for it or whatever it is. Okay, that's your personal business. But the general trend right here, shown by this guy's graph, is that yes, more and more Bitcoin is being taken off of exchanges, and so it's the season of holding, not the season of dumping. Now, I bring this up because this season, around as we approach January 3rd, usually we've got Trace Mayer. This would have been the third year in a row talking about his proof of keys movement, where everyone is encouraged, and this is really a reach out to newbies. Don't use third parties to store your Bitcoin. Don't use exchanges to store your Bitcoin. Take it off, put it on your Trezor or wherever you control your own private key. And this is a test for the exchanges. The proof. Do they really have what they say they have, or are they going to go down? This is so you control your own private keys. You prove that you own your own private key. You control your Bitcoin, and then some of these exchanges are going to have to show if they're practicing fractional reserve lending. Unfortunately, this year, and proofofkeys.com, I believe I linked to the a tweet wondering, what's going to happen to proof of keys for 2021, January 3rd, 2021, because unfortunately, Trace Mayer is missing in action. We haven't heard from him since Tone Vays' freaking awesome event in Las Vegas. Yes, people used to get together for real in-person events. All you screaming Karens out there, and people like me still, are out there in the real world, flying on planes, going on public transportation. The Phoenix light rail, it was pretty good. I appreciated it. There were a couple homeless people running on top of the tracks yesterday, running across the street, but that's to be expected. You see different things in different cities. So, I'd say people are saying let's carry on the proof of keys tradition. It doesn't need to be centralized around one person, right? Just like there shouldn't be honeypots of Bitcoin on exchanges. Take it off. So I'm sure I'm not going to take the lead on it, but I know other people were tweeting about it. It's linked to below. So the big takeaway is just because Trace is missing in action doesn't mean you should forget to take your Bitcoin off of these freaking third parties and learn to control your private key. Now, it was Giving Tuesday. I call it like Guilting Tuesday. I get all these emails, all these entities trying to guilt. Oh, it's been the worst year ever. It's been the worst because of the virus. It's been the worst year ever. Sacrifice for us. Come on. If I want to give to you, I'm going to give to you. All right. You don't need to guilt me into it. I don't. Giving Tuesday is this mass movement of guilt now that all these organizations feel like they have to jump into now. All right, everybody else is doing it. Let's all send out the annoying emails on Giving Tuesday. Here's something, dudes. If you guys would have just, instead of paying for all your ridiculous marketing and all your bureaucracy at some of your organizations, You should have, and you know, thinking that it's the end of the world. Imagine if you guys would have bought Bitcoin, okay, and done. I mean, you could fund your organizations that way, and then you wouldn't be so negative. You would think that 2020 was a freaking awesome year because it was an awesome year. So, guys, don't fall for the guilt. Don't sacrifice for the mass movements. The Giving Tuesday mass movement. You don't have to give them. You don't have to give. Take care of yourself. There is nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. We do not sacrifice for the mass movement, for the bettering, because who's to say that they're doing what's great for society? They're probably just doing what's great to run their freaking organization. Now, there's some great organizations out there, but you don't need to be guilted on Guilted Tuesday. Hey, by the way, and I just some of these charitable organizations, they got to update to the 2020s here, man. Get into Bitcoin. Turn your cash, just like these companies have their treasury reserves instead of in cash, they have it in Bitcoin. Imagine if some of these charities would do that. And I'm sure some, well, I'm not sure, but I hope some will. Some will, so they don't have to use the guilt lines as much anymore and say, and then they'll be saying too, yeah, this was the best year ever instead of the worst year ever, which is just it has been an incredible year. As I said, you want to be around people who think this was a freaking awesome year, and it was an awesome year for the strong hands, baby. Now, yesterday I mentioned that I believe that so much of the new money coming into Bitcoin, they don't care about properly storing their Bitcoin, which is another reason we need to have proof of keys. But Trezor is having a holiday sale. Shop.trezor.io. I linked to it below. And if they got to have a sale and they're sending, I'm saying I don't think they've been selling a lot of Trezors lately because the oldies already have their Trezors, right? The new people, they're just keeping it at Coinbase. So if you're a new person, they're having sales at Trezor. No excuse. It's getting cheaper over there. Hey, you chatters, remember, I appreciate you guys messing with the algorithm and leaving chat comments, but leave it in the comment section too. I've fallen behind on replying to everybody's comments because I'm just getting settled here and I got to go running 7.2 miles. I plan to run at least right after I get off of this thing. But you guys, when I'm running, you leave comments and then maybe tomorrow or tonight or something, I will reply. And I appreciate, we love to mess with the algorithm because, well, the algorithm loves to mess with us, doesn't it? It's fun. It's fun. It's a little game we can play with the YouTube algorithm. You could play games with algorithms. I mean, we're used to playing games with real people, but hey, we're living in this golden age where you can play a game with a freaking algorithm and try to mess it up. So yeah, Yahoo Finance tweets out to its almost 1 million followers a video clip of Paul Tudor Jones bullishly talking about Bitcoin. And it just shows you a year ago, you wouldn't say that's even possible, okay? That Paul Tudor Jones would be talking positively about Bitcoin and Yahoo Finance would be tweeting it out. This is supposed to be a horrible year, 2020. And look how much we've advanced since 2019. We got these big money dudes being, and the Yahoo Finance is all about just clickbait and stuff. So they're using a big money guy talking about Bitcoin as clickbait to get normies to follow them on Twitter. Hey, they got to do what they got to do. It's a good sign that this has been a darn good year when you got things like that happening. And I'm not putting the dude on the pedestal. They freaking are putting the dude on a pedestal there. Hey, and what else do we have here? No, I'm not going to talk about that. Yes. And for all the people that are down on politics and are sad out there, something that I've talked about before, if you want to get people into Bitcoin, just say, buy Bitcoin. Don't waste your time arguing with them in the comments section because you're not going to make much progress with them, okay? Just leave. I've done this a few times. I got to do it a little bit more on some of my favorite non-Bitcoin people videos. I just leave, buy Bitcoin. It wakes people up. If they're not following Yahoo Finance, this is a way to wake them up. There's some of the normies up. The last time we saw Trace was on this show with American Hold, says Roman Q. Yes, it was, wasn't it? That was his last live appearance. It was that February show from Las Vegas when I had them both on. And people were like, "Oh my, that's what what he really looks like." He had been on the show Both of them had been on the show pretty recently before. Both of them have not been on the show since. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just seeing if there are any other comments out there. But hey, yeah, best guest in the freaking space here, of course. I bring you, you never knew what insider information you're going to get here. That was a day of insider information, wasn't it? Oh, God. JG says, my God, Adam, CNBC has 4 crypto tax videos today. Ridiculous. Really? I mean, again, in 2019, you wouldn't have predicted this. It's been a great year, man. It's been a great year. And you should be happy that you didn't have to wait until all this was on CNBC or Yahoo Finance. That you were watching this show and you've had the insider information for years, and you've been simply buying and holding. You haven't been, turning it into Ripple and who knows what people are doing. All right, guys. So remember, no, when Bitcoin gets a lot of mainstream media attention, does that mean it's peaking? No, it's the beginning of the bull run when it's getting this type of attention. It's peaking when it really gets silly and people were wearing sweaters and with Bitcoin and Ethereum on it. There was a tweet about that today that I was going to talk about. Go to Whale Panda's Twitter feed if you want to know when Bitcoin is going to be peaking. So he says he's got some pretty funny observations. So what's going on now? No, it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. No, and here, Lele, you have very bad listening comprehension, dude. You're a disgrace. You said, Adam, when will you sell a small amount of Bitcoin to cover your living expenses? Never. Come on now. Never. No, not anytime soon. I don't know when, dude. Not before 2024. I've said this many times. Okay. So I think, I mean, you want, I can't give you, I don't know when. I don't know. I've got money in the freaking bank, and I have YouTube pays me in cash. They pay me in cash. I've got this thing planned out at least until 2024. I don't know how many other ways I have to say it. I mean, I've got it, the fiat that I have in the bank. I've done the calculations. I can live off of it quite easily, traveling around the whole freaking world. If I wanted to go to Brazil, you know how much it costs to rent an Airbnb there for a month? Like $800. All right. So I mean, it could be extended even longer. Now, 123 No Scope said, thank you. And I'm thinking about going down there, but I really want some good recommendations of warm places in the United States to go to. I don't know where I'm going to be after January 5th. I'm thinking about that. Maybe I'll stay here. I still haven't gotten a good taste of this place yet, of Phoenix. I'm going to run around. 123 No Scope said, thank you for the insider information. Here's some more insider information. Hold until 2032, dude. That's a good policy right there. And Lele, you are a disgrace because I saw that you wrote at Adam there. You have been around this thing for so long, and you don't know how to spell BitcoinMeister yet. That's why you ask questions like that, dude. All right, a disgrace. And yes, some people are disgraceful chatters, like Lele. Lele is a disgrace, by the way. I already said it a couple times there. It's not wrong to, when you have some people that are disgraceful, just because they're in your live chat anymore doesn't mean you can't call them out for being complete disgraces. All right, that's it, dudes. I'm just seeing if there are any other questions out there. No. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister. Tune in here at 2 p.m. Baltimore time tomorrow for the live show. We'll get 2 or 3 or 4 guests. Who knows how many we're going to get here. And yeah, pound that like button, dudes. See you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks.